Okay, fifth graders, so this is similar to what we've been working on the last couple of days with pan balances, and we called it hands-on equations that we've been working on as well. So for this one, we don't have numbers or letters, but we can eliminate a couple. Some of the kids suggested taking a couple off of this side and a couple off of this side, and it would still weigh the same. And if I took one triangle off of this side and one off of this side, it would still weigh the same because their fulcrum is still right in the middle. And now I've got two triangles equal 6. I think those were marbles when we looked at those before. So two triangles equals 6. So one triangle must equal just 3. So each triangle weighs 3. Now we've got pens and paper clips. We'll do the same thing. Let's take some off of this side because there's a whole bunch over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take 5 off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we should still be the same weight since we took 5 off of each side. So one pen then equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 if I counted that right. So one pen should equal 13 paper clips. Alright. Now this one looks a little bit different because we have some letters in there, and I'm getting a little confused here. I need to separate mine, so I'm looking at just this box right here. M and N together equal 15 marbles. M weighs as much as how many marbles? I think we might want, I think this is one, I remember doing it another year, where we want to look at this part, and then we'll come back to that part, because this is a two-parter, which kind of throws us off once in a while. Let's see, where does it end? I'm going to hope that it ends right here, so that these two go together. In fact, I'm going to fold this up. Otherwise, because this one's talking about marbles and different shapes. So I'm pretty sure that these two go together. And I think this one will help us with this one. So we'll come back to this part right here. 2n equals 20 marbles. So 1n must equal half as much. So because two of them equal 20, so one of them must equal 10. Alright, so we're going to use this data over here. If n equals 10, because we figured that out already, then m plus 10 equals 15. So what plus 10 will equal 15? I'm going to write it right out here. M plus 10 equals 15. So m must equal 5. Alright, and then we're ready to look at this next one down here. One triangle weighs as much as how many squares? We're looking at. Oops, I'm going too far. And if we look up here, we see that 5 triangles plus a square equals 11 squares. I could probably take one triangle off of this side, and if I did that, my 11 becomes a 10 because I took one off. I'm going to go over to this one and come back like I did before. Well, actually, I probably could solve it. 4 triangles equals 10 squares. So if 5 triangles equal 10 cubes, then we can say one triangle weighs 2 times, weighs as much as 2 squares, because it weighs 2 times as much. 5 times 2 will equal 10. And I think we're going to need that information over here. So a triangle plus 2 squares equals 8 marbles. So 1 square equals as much as. So for this one, keeping in mind that one triangle is 2 squares, we go over here, one triangle is as much as 2 squares. So these two are even. These two are exactly the same because we said one triangle equals 2 squares. So if we have 8 marbles on the other side, this must be 4 and this must be 4. So these two together would be 4 and that would be 4 because 2 times 2 triangles weigh as much as that. So that means 1 square would be half of that. So 1 square would equal 2 marbles on that one. Boy, these are getting tricky even for Mrs. Burrell here. Okay, let's look at number 5. This time we've got 5 cubes, or sugar cubes, whatever we want to call them, equal a half a glass of juice. 1 cup of juice weighs as much as 4, oh, now it says 1, no, this is half. So if this is half a glass, a whole glass is going to be twice as much. So twice as much as 4 would be 8, so we want it to be 8 blocks. Although, when I look at my answer key, it says 4. In my opinion, this should be 8 because it's half a glass. But if you're correcting it with your class, your teacher is going to see 4. But in my classroom, I would accept 8 because to me, that's half a glass. All right, taking a look over here, 1 apple right here weighs as much as how many blocks? Well, we have to go back to this one. If 1 cup weighs as much as 4 blocks, so this is the same as 4 blocks, this is the same as 4 blocks, and this is the same as 4 blocks, then we can take 18 minus 4 minus 4 minus 4, or we could say that's the same as 12. So 18 minus, oops, I'm doing the wrong sign, minus 12 will give us 6. 6 left over. So 1 apple must weigh as much as 6 blocks. All right, down here it's asking us to find the missing number to make this number sentence true. We have to do the parentheses first. Remember our PEDMAs. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Or sometimes we reverse those, but remember the M and the D are equal and the A and the S are equal, but you have to do parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication or division, then add or subtract. So here's our P, parentheses. 45 plus 7 is going to be 52, and now we get to divide because that's our next step. 52 divided by 2. Am I on the screen? 52 divided by 2. Going to be 26 for a final answer on that one. And this one, we've got some nested parentheses, so we want to go to the innermost parentheses first. We solve that one first. 28 divided by 7 is 4. And then we still have parentheses, so now we've got 4 plus 12. 16. And now we can do our divided by 8. 16 divided by 8 is going to equal 2. We've got nested parentheses again, so we're going to go to our innermost parentheses. Okay, so sorry about that pause there. We were taking the inside parentheses here, so we have to do our 14 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12, carry the 1, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 42, so we've got 42 here. Now we're going to add the 14 because we're still inside parentheses. We're just working our way out, and we get 56. And then we've got now 56, and we're going to subtract 6. So we'll end up with a total answer of 50. Our last one over here, again, we've got a set of parentheses, and here are our nested parentheses. We have to do the inmost one first and then work our way out. 34 divided by 2. I bet some of you can do this one mentally. Let's see, 17, and then we need to multiply 17 times 115, but at this point I bet you're saying, wait a minute, Mrs. Burrell, you've got parentheses over here and you've got parentheses over here. The rule of thumb is you need to work left to right when you've got something of equal value. I don't think it will matter here because of our multiplication, but let's just get in the habit of working left to right. So 3 minus 3 is going to be 0, and oh my goodness, I think I could actually stop right now because I know 0 times whatever this will be 0, but I can finish solving it if I want to. Why not? We've got 17 that we left off with, and we're going to multiply it times 115, and we can go through all that work even though we know our answer is going to be 0. 5 times 7 is 35. 7 times 1 is 7, 8, 9, 10. Carry the 1, 7, 8. Do our second row. 5, 1, 1, add it up, 5, 5, 9, and 1. So we've got 1,955 times 0. And you know what it's going to equal? 0. Anything times 0 is 0. That's our 0 property. All right, thanks for working with me today.